Tuesday, December 16th, 1:09 p.m. New York time. Welcome back, investors, to Winning Wall Street's Money. Going to cover investing using stock ETFs in currencies. Going to focus on the US dollar index. So to be able to participate in this, what I'm going to show you, you need to have a stockbroker, and they should be able to offer you fractional shares if you want to be able to buy fraction shares. Not all stockbrokers offer the same financial assets. Example, there's the futures market, there's the options market, there's a Forex market, there's a crypto market, there's a stock market. Not all brokers offer everything. Do your due diligence and check and verify if you're opening a broker account. Because if you want to trade what I'm showing you, you'll need one that lets you invest in stocks. And I'm going to tell you about fractional shares. Not all brokers offer fractional shares. The key word is fractional. So if a stock is $500, if a stock is $40, if you don't want to allocate that much money for that stock, you could buy a fraction of the shares. Some stockbrokers let you buy a fraction of a share for $10, $5, $7. Not all brokers let you invest in fractional shares. And fractional shares are bullish. They don't let you trade short. But there's a great tool. There's bearish stock ETFs. So if you're bearish, you can still invest in fractional shares. You can still invest in ETFs. Stock ETFs stand for exchange traded funds. They're similar to like a mutual fund. A company raises a bunch of capital. It goes out and invests, buys those financial assets, and it creates a derivative, if you want to call it index stock ETF. So instead of you owning directly that financial asset, you're buying their equity shares, and they're going to manage that, charge your fees, which will be embedded in the stock, so you won't even see it to know what, but it's public information. So with currencies, they're going out to invest in the currencies in the futures markets, which require margin, and then you're buying the stock off of them. Sure, you have less risk because you don't need the margin. You don't have to open an account with a broker for futures. You just need to have a broker that offers you the fractional shares and stocks. Yeah, that's a lot of information. But again, if you don't have a broker yet, go ahead and open a broker. I recommend you make sure it's in the United States. Highly recommend you make sure they have at least 15 to 20 years of history in business, and they have living, breathing people that will pick up the phone you can speak to. Not some degenerate company. A solid company. So this is a 1-year chart. This is a line chart. Is that squiggly line? That's the line. And this is the US dollar index in the futures market. Again, not all brokers give everybody access to the futures. This broker I'm using, I have access to the futures, Forex, options on equity, options on futures, a bunch of other asset markets. So again, the US dollar index, the key word is index. US dollar index is comprised of several currencies. I have separate videos on that. Go ahead and watch it on your own time. I'm focusing here on the specifically one solid thing, which we're going to get to momentarily. 2 yellow horizontal lines. The top is the high of the year of the US dollar. And the bottom is the low. Well, we're much closer to the low, and the US dollar is bearish. It's been trading lower since the beginning of the year. Are you bullish or bearish the US dollar? So that being said, I'm going to show you a stock ETF. If you're bullish, you could buy the stock ETF. The company's called Vesco. But again, the stock symbol is UUP. Again, daily chart. So again, 1-year chart, stock ETF. The current price is $27.89. So if you don't want to buy one share for that much, you buy a fractional share, whatever your broker minimum requirement is. So if they're minimum $10, you put $10. Again, look at the chart here on the futures market. Futures market trades 6.5 days a week. Sorry, 5.5 days a week. So again, here's the high, here's the low. See the comparison? Again, declining. So that's the bullish stock ETF, UUP. Well, the company also offers you the inverse. Yeah, the inverse. Let me cue that in here. There we go. Again, 1 year chart. And this is the bearish. The symbol is Uniform Delta November, 3 letters, Uniform Delta November. This is called the bearish fund. Again, when you buy it, you're expecting US dollar futures to decline. And when this declines, the bearish fund goes higher. It trades inverse. That's the key word, inverse. So this share price here currently is $18.80. Again, here's the symbol, UDN. And again, you can buy fractional shares instead of taking the risk. It's pretty cool. Yep, you don't have to have margin accounts. Because again, to short financial instruments, you need a margin account. That means you need a lot more than what the physical underlying costs. They want to insure themselves with you up at the ante of the money. Yep. So again, if you're bullish or bearish, the US dollar, you could open an account and trade the stock ETFs without margin required. And if you want to add more money periodically, that's called dollar cost investing. I want to put both these side by side. So the left is the bullish and the right is the bearish. 1 year chart in each of them, big difference. So again, here's the dollar bullish, UUP on the left, and the bearish on the right. Now I'll show you some charting. We're going to go to the futures markets. Go look at the US dollar index. Again, not all brokers have access to this stock symbol. Again, there's different futures exchanges, and there's different ones that list the dollar. So I'm looking at the dollar on the ICE exchange. The symbol is $ DXY. See here? So this is a history of chart. This is 20 years of history for the US dollar. Each candle's a month. Look at the bottom left. That was the low, 2008. And here is the top high, 2022. Here's the high, 2025. Dollar's declining. Let's go to a weekly chart, 5 years, US dollar. Here's the high, 2022. The high of this year, 2025. Beginning of the year is declining. Here's a consolidation. And the past few weeks is declining. It's Tuesday. We already took the low of last week out. And we're in this key level. Maybe you have a bouncer. Here we're in the daily chart, 1 year chart, daily. And what today happened is we took out a swing low. It broke below it. This futures instrument does not close till 5 p.m. So this is not completed yet. But often when you test the swing point and break it, you get a pause and sometimes reversal. So maybe we'll have a pop here, go up. Again, the overall momentum is down, trending down. Let me cue in some history here. Economics. Last week, the United States Central Bank Federal Reserve met and they lowered interest rates. This vertical line is the day they did it. And since then, the dollar's declining. Policies affect currencies. That was a big policy. Again, the president, his administration, his team supports a weaker dollar, supports lower interest rates, and they're getting it. That's what's happening. So this is an intraday chart. Each candle's here for 4 hours. And I want to open it longer, more history, so you can see also what's just happened. There we go, 180 days. This blue zone, that's a gap. Overnight, all the way back then, it gapped up. Today, it went down and tested that gap. Hasn't filled it yet, that orange line. Nope. But it broke it and went inside of it. Picture it like a stream. And I already mentioned, I think we might bounce here. So again, these 2 4-hour candles, big wicks on the bottom, but each one made lower low, lower high. And let's go back to the daily. Here's the daily. Cue my daily drawings. There we go. Also a swing point we took out. So several things happened here, and I'm showing you on my charts why I'm anticipating we might bounce. Another thing, typically over the holiday season, coming into the holiday, Christmas, New Year's, the dollar has a bullish bias to it. Well, okay, so we'll bounce a little bit. That means you have the opportunity, if you're bearish, to get it in at a better price, get it filled at a better price. So me, I'm not looking to put a bearish trade on here, nor am I looking to go bullish neither. Nope, there's other stock ETFs. So what I just showed you is just some of the stock ETFs on the currencies for the US dollar. There are other currencies, and they have stock ETFs too. Thank you as always spending just a little bit of time with me. That's it for the video. Thank you for watching.